Hi everyone, my name is Tori, this is Novel Life, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have some single dad romance recommendations to share with you. I know Father's Day is coming up this weekend in the United States, so I wanted to give you guys some single dad romance recommendations so you can read, just appreciate the single dads out there. This video is in collab with Sam from Sam Reads a Little, so you can go check out her video. I'll have her channel and her video linked in the description box below, so make sure you go give her some love and check out her video and subscribe if you don't already. But with all that being said, let's just go ahead and jump in to the romance recommendations. One thing I really do look for with single dad romances is how much of the kids are in the books. I love it when kids are such a huge part of a single dad romance because it's not just his life he's bringing a woman into, it's the kid's life as well. All of these books, the kids are an intricate part of the book, and I really enjoyed them. So the first one is actually a new release, and that is One and Only by Carla Sorensen, or Carla Sorensen, however you say her name. This one is single dad romance, but it's also a marriage of convenience. We see that our female character right off the bat, her dad is sick and she it's her stepdad, and she wants to really get married and show that him to see her get married off and all this stuff like that. So they kind of plan this fake wedding. It's like they sign the marriage certificate, but they don't actually send it into, the government, whatever it goes to actually get approved and submitted that they're actually married legally. So they're waiting for that. They have 90 days to do that or something like that before it's voided and stuff like that. But he has his reasons because his kid's mom, so his ex, she is going across the country. She's going to, I think, Europe, and she wants to make sure he wants to prove to her that he can take care of the kids. He has another person in his life because he is a, he's an athlete, so he's constantly busy and all of these things like that. So there's both reasons why they want to get married. So of course they have to live together. When his daughter is there, they have these really funny moments where they're supposed to spend the night together in the same room, because obviously the kid's gonna notice if they're not sleeping in the same room, and so they have to be forced together. There's that one bed trope. There's a lot of tropes that go with single dad romances, but also with marriage of convenience. So I really liked it, but just know that this book is ridiculously slow burn. Just know that it is so slow burn. It's like Marietta Zapata slow burn, which not many people can do Marietta Zapata slow burn, you know what I mean? But I did enjoy this one. It was pretty good. It's such a cute single dad romance, and I love the daughter. She was adorable. I think she played a really good part in the book. The next one I have is Goal by Alexandria House. This is a hockey romance. So I'm putting this as a single dad romance, not because he actually has children, but because he becomes guardian of two kids, and those two kids are actually his super young siblings. So he's in his 20s, and when his dad, who he hasn't talked to since his teens, passes away, he comes to find out that, in his will, he is now the guardian of his younger brother and sister. And I think she's 8 and he's maybe 10 or 11. They're really young. So he's living this life of being an NHL player. He has a fiance at the time, and when the kids come in to his life, the fiance is no, I don't want this anymore, send them off to someone else. And he's we don't have any other family. Their mom, which technically would be his stepmom, passed away before his dad, so no one else is there to help these kids. And he's I'm not gonna leave them with someone who I don't know what they're going to do. I can, I have the means to help them. And that all leads to hiring a nanny. We all love a single dad nanny romance. You know what I mean? And so this nanny, you see our female character, she is struggling. She's had, some past trauma and stuff like that, but she used to be a teacher. So now, she's trying to get back on her feet. She's been couch surfing. She, at one point, is living in her car. And that's when he realizes, when he hires her, that she is living in the car. So he says, since you're the nanny, you can just stay with me and stay in my house. Well, it's an apartment type thing. It's not a standalone house. He has a floor, a penthouse basically. So, they're forced together that way. And the development with the kids is there's just a lot that happens in this book, so there's a lot of triggers, so definitely check the triggers with this one. But I like Alexandria House's storytelling. I think she can tell a very emotional story with a romance that pairs really well, and nothing feels like it's being missed. While there is a lot happening, it's very fast moving. So they get together pretty early on in the book. She becomes the nanny, they get together, they have all these things. The kids are definitely part of it because she feels a certain type of way towards these kids she wants to make sure that they're like taken care of and stuff like that. So it is very, very cute. And I love the dynamics of all of the relationships between him and his brother and sister, who he's guardian of, for her with the kids, with them too. I really, really enjoyed it. So all around, really good book. Now, the next one is also a book that I recently read, and that is Undelete by Elodie Hart. Can never say that right. Do not come for me. You guys know I don't pronounce things right, okay? This book is the second book in the Alchemy series. Technically, you can read them out of order. This is my favorite. The first one was just okay, but this one, he is a widow. Is it a widower? He's a widower? Yeah, a widower. His wife passed away from cancer, and it was very, very quickly. And he has these 2 little girls, and they are absolutely adorable. You do see them in the first book a little bit, but our female character is actually the best friend of the female character from the first book. So you do see her a little bit. She is very wild. She is very... she is who she is. She goes into alchemy, which is kind of like this sex kink club, and she is not afraid to kind of explore things, you know what I mean? And he is not that person. He's like, I'm not walking in there. Even when he was with his wife, or even when his wife was still alive, he wouldn't really go in there. But now that she's passed away, I think it's about a year, a little over a year, something like that. So the girls still remember, like his 2 little girls still remember her, and he doesn't want that memory to ever go away. But I do think it's really handled well, where you have this female character who's not necessarily wanting to take the place of a mother, but give them a motherly figure in their life. And I really, really enjoyed that part of it. He is struggling. I mean, he has daddy spreadsheet. We'll just say that. I mean, if you've read it, you know, but if not, he's so dorky. He's like the finance person, like, I don't know what it's called, but he's like handles all the finances for the club. So he's very analytical and straightforward, but oh my God, he is daddy AF. I'll say that. Oh my God, he's a literal daddy too. And I really, really enjoyed this one. I thought the, he falls first type of a thing is there, because they agree it's like, oh, we're just doing this sexually at the beginning. But of course, that doesn't always happen. They start getting into each other's lives, especially she starts having, all these moments with the girls. And while it's told to us they have these moments, I wanted to see more of the girls, but it is a shorter book, so we get a decent amount. But I loved it, and I would highly recommend that one too. The next book I have is The Setup and the Substitute by Jiffy Kate. So this is a baseball romance series. It takes place in New Orleans, and this is a single dad nanny romance once again. Now, our female character, she is a substitute teacher for one of his kids. He has a boy and a girl, and he is a baseball player, and his nanny just quit. His ex-wife is long gone. She hasn't been in the life for a very long time, which is very, very sad. But when she starts realizing that these kids want her to be the nanny, after her like substitute position is done, like it's only for X amount of time. So when that's done, she becomes the nanny, and he's like, I'll pay you whatever, like just take care of my kids. And they really do have this like soft and natural, like friends to lovers romance. It's like as she is, staying with the kids, and obviously she gets to know the kids first, through the FaceTimes when he's not there and on the road and traveling for baseball and stuff like that. She obviously hears the conversations, and she starts like realizing what a good guy he is. And when he comes back, she lives with them and stays with them. And she does have her own house, but like she really stays with them to make sure they're good. There's this caretaking scene, and it is so sweet. The kids get sick, she takes care of them, and then he takes care of her when the kids get better and she becomes sick. And I really enjoyed it. It was super, super sweet. Like that's the best way to describe this book, is like very much a sweet romance. So if you're looking for that with not all the angst and stuff like that, this is perfect. It is adorable. I loved it. I love the way she handled the kids. I love the way that he, is with the kids. It's very, very sweet. So yeah, this is just... It's just a sweet tooth. It's like a big hug. The next book I have is From the Embers by Ali Martinez. So this one is a single mom and a single dad romance. Now, this one is for my angsty lovers, okay? This one has so much angst and so many things that happen. So I'm going to try and describe this book in the best way that I can. Okay, it's Ali Martinez. She writes really emotional things, right? So you see right off the bat, they have these 2 couples. They have their own house and have their own kids. The wives are best friends and the husbands are best friends. And they've been friends for a while. Now they decide one of the couples is having a hard time in their marriage. Like just things are not clicking, right? They're just like, they're going through a rough patch. So they said, okay, all the kids are going to go to one house. We'll hire a nanny to watch the kids for the night. And we'll just do like a double date at our house, at one of the other houses. And when that happens, a fire breaks out and 2 characters die right off the bat. So it basically leaves one of the moms for one of the couples. It leaves a mom for one of the couples, and then a dad for the other couple, which they become the love interest in each other's lives. And so it is very heartbreaking right from the start. Now, he actually goes into the fire. He like gets out, and then he goes back in to save who he thinks is his wife, but it's actually her best friend wearing one of her dresses, but he didn't remember that. He just realized that was her dress and tried to get her out, but he couldn't go back in. Like everything, he could only save one person basically. So that's where it becomes like really tragic. He thinks he's saving someone else. Now, for the sake of the kids, they kind of all move in together. Obviously, he doesn't have a house, so they're living together. They're grieving, the other half of they're grieving their spouse that they lost. He has basically a brand new daughter. She is very, very young. And the other one has 2 kids already. They're a little bit older, but they've been in each other's lives. So it's forced proximity. They're forced together. They're forced to live in the same house. They're forced to heal together, to go to therapy together, to cry together, all of this stuff like that. And I've really enjoyed this book. It's extremely emotional, lots of twists and turns. I mean, it's Ali Martinez. So if you've read her before, she has a lot of plot twists that I did not see coming in this book. So yeah, highly suggest reading this one as well. The next one I have is One Look by Lena Hendricks. So this one, I will say it starts off really slow. So be prepared for a little bit of a slow start, but once you get about 30% into the book, it really hits and it becomes so well. This is also a nanny romance. A lot of people have been writing nanny romances. And well, she's his assistant that kind of turns into, watch your daughter. I don't mind that as well. Like, it's not like I have anything else going on. But they meet because this One Look thing is, he is back in his small hometown for a funeral of this person that doesn't really have a lot of family, but he sees this woman sobbing on by his casket, right? And he sees her and they lock eyes and he's like, whoa, she's beautiful, right? Come to find out, these meddling grandmothers, which I think it's a grandmother, but it's one person is part of his family. The other is part of a rival family, but they kind of they talk. They're like the 2 women that keep the peace right now. But they have 2 rivaling families, and they hired her to basically cry at the funeral so he could be mourned. She's doing it because she's trying to get her acting career off, so she obviously uses that as an exercise. And also, people can see that they're being mourned, so it feels good, right? That's where it becomes slow. But when he hires her as the assistant, he's going back and forth to the college that's about an hour away. He's like the head football coach for the college. He's trying to do everything all at once, and he can't. He's trying to be the perfect dad, the perfect coach, keep these boys that he's mentoring kind of in line for the summer. And so he just needs help. And she steps in and is like, I got it. So she starts having these moments with the daughter, which I find really, really, really sweet too. She's an intricate part because she's always there. She's always doing something with the brothers or with her or with him. And they're always doing something together. But I really did like it. This one was another sweeter romance. It's just a little bit long. I mean, you could tell from the book. It's a very, very long. It's a little bit slow at the beginning. I rated it 4 stars just for context, but I would recommend it. I think that I really like Lena Hendricks' writing in this book, and I cannot wait for the next book coming out soon. I think it's coming out soon, which is called One Touch, which I'm really excited for. The last book I have is one that I recently read, and that is To Hate Adam Connor, which this is actually one of Sam's favorite single dad romances, and I have finally read it recently because I know it's her favorite, and this is by Ella May. So this is the older cover, but I love this book. So this is a very much enemies to lovers romance, not a nanny romance. Well, I mean, it is just a tiny bit. I say that because it's funny because all of these seems like they're nanny romances, right? But in this one, you see that our female character is best friends with the female character from the first book in this series, which is To Love Jason Thorne. And our female character moves into their house, which is next door to Adam Connor, because her husband was very famous. Adam Connor's very famous. They're actors and stuff like that. So she moves in and she's like, let's spy on Adam Connor. No one ever sees him. He's going through this divorce, blah, 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 right? And she's snooping on him one night and, he doesn't see. But the next time she's snooping, she finds that his kid is swimming by himself and he starts to drown. So she jumps over and saves him. And even right off the bat, he's like, why are you looking? I'm grateful that you saved my son, but why were you creeping? Who are you? You know what I mean? Because she's literally no one. She's just the best friend kind of a thing. And they have this banter that is so hilarious that really keeps it going. I absolutely love this book. The way she is with the kid, she falls in love with the kid way before she falls in love with him, which I love that. She has this super cute relationship with him, and he just looks up to her so much, not to replace his mother, Even though his mother is like a piece of work. Like, she is awful, I will say that. But I really, really love this one. I can see why Sam loves it. This probably will be in her video as well, but I loved Adam Connor. This is my favorite. Jason Thorne was good, but Adam Connor is just like top level. He has a dirty mouth, and I loved it. But those are all my single dad romance recommendations that I have to share with you. Make sure you check out Sam's video. I'll have it linked in the description box below, and go give her a sub if you don't already. But for the emoji, drop me the man emoji. Yeah, is it a man? I think there's a man emoji. I think there is. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. Make sure you like and subscribe for more content for me. As always, I hope you're living a novel life, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.